Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're joining me on YouTube and Facebook, thank you so much for coming. Um, it has been long since I was live on YouTube, but guys, welcome. Like I was saying, I posted that I'll be going live tonight, and I am live with beautiful ladies, awesome ladies with me. So I'll ask them to come on the stage with me and just discuss this important topic we have for you guys tonight. So I'll um, I'll bring on Sharon. Please introduce yourself and welcome to my live.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name's Sharon Kayula Kalebaila. I'm a social worker by profession, but right now I'm not working, but I'm doing my own business. I call it 99 jobs. As a woman, I need to be an enterprising person. I don't want just to rely on anybody, so I try to do this and that. I think in a nutshell, that's just me.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Sharon, for joining. We have a few more people with us, so we'll have to bring them up and they'll introduce themselves and then we pick it up from there. Bamashina, how are you? Welcome to my live. Hello? Can you hear me? Shileshi, are you able to hear me?
The mic is muted.
I think so. You have to unmute your mic. Okay, we have to pass her. She'll join us. We have another guest with us. Please
Hi, mommy.
welcome
Nah,
Maimbo.
how are you? It's been long, eh?
Okay.
Hello. Yes, I
Thank
can hear you.
you.
Can you? Are you able to get me?
Yes.
Yes, I can get you clearly.
Okay. So can you go ahead and introduce
Are you
yourself to everybody?
getting me?
Yes, I am. I think she's got a little bit of some feedback. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to jump over to Mindball. Please welcome yourself and introduce yourself. I'm sorry, introduce yourself to the people and tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to my live. Mindball, can you hear me? Ladies, can you hear me? Is your network okay or what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Sharon.
can.
Yeah, so I think we're having
I can
trouble with the
see.
two ladies. We having trouble. Yeah, so I think their network is not okay. Yeah, so guys, tonight we're discussing women's women's day theme, and now it's not a day anymore, it's a month. So this is our month and we're discussing this month, how are we running with this month as women. So this yesterday was women international women's day, and so just like every year there's a theme for every year that comes for Women's Day, and this year's theme uh, was, or rather, I still do not have the ladies with me. So when they come on, they'll jump on, introduce themselves, and then they'll join us. Because as always, I don't want to keep the lives too long. So we'll keep it within time and see how far we can go. So this year's theme for the Women's Day is about inspiring, okay? It's about investing in the women. It's about investing in the girls. It's about investing in our women in society. So we accelerating the power that they already have. So this is what we're talking about tonight with these wonderful ladies. So we'll just give Mindball an opportunity to introduce herself, then we get into the topic. We discuss how we're going to run with it. Yes. So Mindball, you welcome. Please introduce yourself and to the people and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I must just apologize. We've just been cut, so I'm in the dark now. Yeah, yeah, power has just been cut. So I'm in the dark, and I hope I can still finish the live. My name is Mayimbo Kalenge. Um, I work for Diakonia. Diakonia is a Swedish international development organization. I'm the program lead. I'm managing a program on governance and democracy that basically looks at people's participation, and an aspect of it includes gender justice using the feminist principles. Briefly, I think that's what I can talk about. The rest, I think, will come in the detail as we start the conversation. Thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm sure a lot of people would benefit from you guys. So that's I had to pick up some people that can come and just talk about this in depth. So, ladies, let's pick it up. This year's theme. How is it with you? How you relating with it? How you applying it? How you interpreting the theme? So I'll give an opportunity to everybody, anybody that can pick it up, and then we'll keep joining in. Okay. So whoever is ready can pick it up. Before someone comes in, guys, I still have maybe one or two people who are having technical issues to join us. So if you see people coming in, that's fine. And if you're in the audience and then you would like to say something, you can either type it or you can type it, and then I'll be able to read it to the ladies. So anybody who's ready can please jump on, and then let's pick it up. Let's go.
Hello.
Sharon, you ready?
Okay, let me set the ball rolling. For me, I interpret this theme in a more simpler way that when inspire it's the theme says, and I quote, inspire inclusion, invest in progress and in women and girls, and accelerate progress. For me, I feel um, if a girl child is given chance or is included in developmental activities, she can progress, she can inspire, because most of the times it's men that are in the forefront because they are perceived to be macho and they can take in these roles. But I feel that if a girl or a woman is included in developmental issues, given or if they are provided with access to opportunities and resources for which women and girls can take part, I think we can see progress in our world. A lot of times we found ourselves in this corner to say, no, if you give a woman equal like I'll say it in my own language where they say a girl is supposed to be at home or a woman is supposed to be in the background. Who said that? If I'm also given an equal chance chance to do something or to take up a role, I can even do it better or twice than a man can. And also, I think I come from a background where there are women. I had bosses that were women, and I got inspired. And for me, I consider myself to be a feminist. Sorry to say, because I want to see this girl, this woman. Let's all give this woman as a
Mhm.
society.
Mhm.
Yep.
I have to actually agree with you with a lot of things that you've said. Usually, most times people,
Absolutely.
ladies or girls are secluded. Sometimes they're not given opportunities like men. Okay, so most like
Hello.
in our culture, yeah, I can hear you. I
Hi,
don't know
Charity.
if hi, can I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hi.
Yeah. So like
Can
I
you
was
hear me?
yes, yes. Chile, I can hear you. Everybody, I can hear you. So when you want to say something, let me know so that we don't get feedback from everywhere. So when you're not having anything to say, just because we need audible voices, please turn off your mics. Yeah. So like I was saying, I was agreeing with what you were saying, Sharon. Most times, like in our culture, like the way we grew up, our generations, okay, our generations back, the women were late to stay home, okay, the girls were late to stay home. So you find that they say, okay, Ulimwanakashi is supposed to be knowing how to do this, and they were missing a lot of opportunities to know better. Okay, they were missing a lot of opportunities to get the schooling. They were missing a lot of opportunities to get an education. So when you say all those things, I agree with you. So I'll give another chance to Mindbo to come on, and please say something about this year's theme. How are you relating it to your life and to what you see? Like, your job is really interesting. It's actually something that has to do with this, and it's really, really, really important that we get to hear from you.
Thank you, Chileshe. Uh, this year's theme makes a very interesting read in all aspects of life. Firstly, acknowledging where we're coming from. Historically, women were confined to domestic chores, and so is a girl. I would relate to one of the things in our discussion in our feminine or female circles, where we discuss about how our bringing was very tilted towards, I don't know, it should be preparation for marriage or pleasing the world, especially focusing on a man. Whenever we're growing up, if I recall, we'd be told, "Don't sit like that. Men don't like that. Or you won't manage marriage." Or you're supposed to be knowing how to clean the house, do your chores and whatnot, because you fail in marriage. So a woman historically was wired or prepared towards managing a home, as in a wife material, which is very important. I mean, respecting cultural values and
Yeah.
norms, very important. But that,
Yeah.
in a way, systematically segregated the women from taking up the center stage in the development cycles or in the um, sorry, now even my lighting system has just gone dim. I hope people can
At
still
least we
see
can
me.
see you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So based on that, women now were secluded and were given it's like there's this big space, and of this big space, women are just occupying this tiny space. But this year's theme is a reminder to everyone, and that is in a position to change the narratives, to be intentional about promoting inclusion, inspiring inclusion, so that we create equal opportunities for women to also come to the center stage, from backstage now to center stage, and take up opportunities. By doing so, we will see that there's equal participation of both women, girls, and boys, and everyone coming and taking that front row seat. And how do we do that? It won't just happen by us talking about it. We have to invest in them. By investing them is being intentional about, are we creating opportunities for them to show up in spaces that are for investment, opportunities for education, opportunities for career growth, opportunities to take up leadership roles. So once we do that, it's a reminder to everyone that is in the space of decision making is being called upon to invest, be intentional about it. Otherwise, growth cannot be accelerated just by talking about it. So we have to look back to look ahead, look back by historically appreciate looking at what has been and what we can do about it to ensure that there are some intentional initiatives or efforts directed towards us inspiring the women. And how we do this, the women and girls, and how we do this is us being able to invest in them with the right skill sets, information, and every other opportunity availed to them, so that they can also be in the front row seat of accelerating growth. Thank you. That will be my input for now. Let me
Yeah,
try to
that's
sort out my lighting system.
okay. Okay, I'll have to let me remove it for a bit. Like I'll just remove yours. So when you set it out, I'll put you back. Yeah, so that's mindful, guys. And that's so insightful, guys. Whatever okay, before I get into it, let me also give Chileshi an opportunity so that we can jump in and discuss further. Chileshi, do you have good reception right now so you can jump on?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, so how this year's theme, how are you interpreting it? How is it? How are you applying it to your own life? Actually, Chile, you have to introduce yourself because you didn't have reception the time I asked you to do so. So you have to introduce yourself to everybody and then jump on and say what this year theme means to you. We lost you again. I think we lost you. We don't, yeah, we cannot hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Please jump on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying my name is Chilesha Mlenga, and I'm all about empowerment, not just women empowerment, but everybody. Because for us to win as women, even the other gender must win as well, and that way it's like we are playing as a team. Um, how I interpret this year's theme, I can say it's in three stages. Like one, there's a society,
Mm-hmm.
then there's the corporate world, and then there's
Yes.
the personal decision now as a woman to invest in
Mm-hmm.
myself. So before society can invest in you, before your workplace can invest in you, you have to show an interest in in the importance of investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to show one needs to show the interest.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you get someone from the village, like we are Africans, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we gotten our relatives from the village? Me, as an outside person, I see the need of this person growing. Like, I've already seen the potential in this person, but this
Mm-hmm.
person is just not willing to
Mm-hmm.
invest in themselves. Then,
Mm-hmm.
two, you see the potential in somebody, or somebody just walks up to you to say, okay, can you mentor me in this area, or can you pay for my school fees? I really want to
Mm-hmm.
go to school. You see somebody interested in becoming. You know, that way, me as a family member, or me as a community, I'll come in and invest in this person. That's the second one, which is society. Then we move on to the corporate world now. You know, we are in all stages in the corporate world. You can be a manager, you can be a supervisor, or anyone, or not just having a higher position, but you identifying younger people who are coming, who are coming after you. Identify the talents in those, in the younger ones. Mentor them, coach them, train them, tell them how the corporate world is. That way, even when they decide to move up the career ladder, somebody would have invested in them. I must say, I wouldn't be where I am if, one, I did not invest in myself. I did not have people to speak in my life, the teachers, my parents, everybody I've met. But the first thing started with me. You know, those people, yes, they saw the potential, but if I didn't see it, it's pointless. So, like Maimbo mentioned, we may talk about it, no, women inclusion, but are women ready to take up these positions? And the people who are in the corporate world, who have been granted the privilege to have those positions, are they ready to invest heavily in these guys, by identifying talent, identifying skills, identifying the expertise of these people, these women? Otherwise, we'll continue talking and it will not yield any results. And maybe just lastly, I would love to mention, you will notice that the women, gender equality is part of the SDGs. And by 2030, we have to meet some goals according to the SDGs. But this is 2024, and we only have 6 years to go to 2030. How are we as Zambians, especially, have we met the target that was set by the UN Sustainable Development Goals? Then the other one is, I was reading a report by the World Economic Forum on gender equality and parity. World over, for us to reach the gender equality, it will take 131 years for us to reach that equality. And as Africans, I think it should be about 152 years for us to reach there. But are we doing enough? Are we doing enough to invest in women? And remember, it's not just about saying, no, we need equal representation on board, forgetting our men. No, we're not supposed to leave them behind as well. We are moving with them. But do we have enough women who are ready to take up, women who know their purpose? Remember, when you go back to the book of Genesis 1, God has called everybody of us. God has not called a man only, no, but he said he created them both male and female, and he's given us the purpose. So what have we identified our purpose as women for this theme to be to be now put in action? Otherwise, it will just be theme in here, theme out here. Thank you very much.
Oh wow! Thank you so much for this, Chile. Thank you so much for your inputs. I think you've spoken about a lot of important things that we need to put in place. You've spoken about society. You've spoken about in our corporate world. You've spoken about about individuals taking it up. So I believe what you've talked about is so relatable. For you to attain something, like you have put it, it has to come within you, because you can force a horse to drink water, but if he doesn't want to drink, you can drag it to the river. If he doesn't want to drink water, it will not. So it's really, really important that we start from within, and then see our surrounding, and then those people that are surrounding us to be of support. So another thing that you've spoken about again is including everybody else. Okay, so it's not in isolation, we're doing it together. So if we have to attain this, we have to work as individuals and um as a community at large, and just everybody that is supposed to push this agenda forward. But it has to start with an individual, with you yourself. Yeah, so guys, if you just joined us, this is a discussion I'm having with the ladies. We're discussing women's day theme. It's our month. Okay, so this is women's month, the whole month of March. So the theme for this year is investing in women and girls, and accelerating progress. So how are we taking this theme individually and as communities is the reason we are here. So ladies, how, like we have talked about, Sharon spoke about how, like, going back, we've been secluded as girls, as ladies. And then Maimbo spoke about an important aspect as well of in putting it in a way, as in the corporate world out there, like how are they not just leaving the girls out, including them in the most important decisions that are made. And so how are we making sure that we attain that? What steps can we do, or individually, as communities, as as the nation at large? Like Chile was saying, we have the SDGs. You guys, when these were made, they were seeming to be so far away, and 2030 is almost here. So many things we have not attained, so many things. So as we are taking baby steps, because we are not the US, we are not these people from these developed worlds where we started from, wherever we are. Okay, so at least I can see we're getting there, we're slowly getting there. But what steps can we make as women to attain this important place? Or so I'll give an opportunity to anybody who's ready to pick it up and just uh talk about just how we can get there.
Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so aside from what I said, they've been lately there are a lot of mentorship programs for women that are mentoring young women who are between the ages of 25 and maybe 45 or even 60. So we are getting there, but again, we still we're still lagging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right,
we
that's true.
still we still have a gap where there's some girls who are still so skeptical about, like, for them it's not really making sense, like why should I have a mentor, or why should I walk up to somebody to tell me what to do. So they're still we still have a gap, but we are getting there. Yeah,
i
because there's so
think i
many
think
mentorship,
the
programs around. Yeah.
Yes, and I think before anybody else comes in, like I mentioned, as okay, like Mindball, Sharon can agree with me when I say this. Um, we are so very behind. Like when we get to the communities, people that are on the lower level. So it's something that is changing. I must say, but it's a lot of work, because I think we have to start with uh, people can only know something when they do have something like an education. So we still have a lot of people not getting that education. Like for the women, in some places we still see that girls are still regarded as they were before. Okay. And then in workplaces, there are there are a lot of people, women, ladies, that are in workplaces, but um they are looked down upon, because this woman cannot take up this role because this is a woman. For them to take up this role, maybe they have to talk to someone nicely, or maybe someone has to take advantage of them for them to attain that position. Okay, so this is why I say we're still lagging behind in our case. So Maimbo, I'll give you an opportunity again to talk about this in your perspective.
Thank you, Chileshe, and thank you, Chileshe, the one who just gave input. I like the perspectives you brought in. Like, it calls for an all-inclusive participation of everyone that is in a position to change the narrative. Here we're talking about actors. Who are the actors? It's the government. It's both the state and non-state actors. And so yeah, on the side of the state is like government has to play its role, and the different ministries and institutions of government should play their role and being deliberate. Earlier in my submission, I talked about being intentional, because if you're not
Intentional, yeah.
intentional about if you're not
Something.
intentional about an issue, you can easily forget, or it can easily slip off the radar.
Yes,
And
that's
then on
true.
the side of the non-state actors, everyone, it has to start with the communities, the traditional leaders, the church, and whatnot. Just today at church, the theme for today's reading was very interesting. I'm a member of the United Church of Zambia, and last year and this year's theme, our annual theme, is understanding the times and what to do. That's what our theme is all about.
Wow.
And the theme calls for the members of the church to not just go spiritual, because I've seen that the uses at the past last year and this year are intentional about how the message is being crafted. Don't come here and start praying. There's there's one preaching, I think one sermon that went viral on social media, should have been last year, where the reverend was telling the people to say, me, this is where I work. You can't be a member of this church and come to church Monday to Friday, and 6 to 6 you are here. So what are you doing? Go and work. So it's calling on the members to say, understand the times. The times are not for just praying and thinking that God is going, manna will come from heaven. No. Equally, in this space of gender or inclusion, as well as inspiring women and accelerating growth and investment, we should be intentional. I like what Chile talked about. Everyone, nobody should leave no one behind. Wherever we need to go and preach that everyone should take that role, it has to start with the women themselves, by taking up opportunities and realizing to say nothing will come on a silver platter for them. They have to really get there and prove that they are capable. Nothing would come. When people are talking about gender equity, gender equality, I sometimes ask myself, should we just be there and say, okay, just because you're a woman, come here? No, for you to take up a leadership role, you should be able to have a certain skill set for you to deliver on that job role. Therefore, I agree totally with Chileshe, who talked about the women being able to seize the opportunities, use the opportunities, get yourself into school, prove that you have a point, do the best, and not just us trying to get it on a silver platter like the easy way. And that said, earlier I talked about how there must be deliberate efforts directed towards bringing up a lot of women in the center stage. You see, Chilesha talked about mentorship programs and whatnot. How many of us can get to those mentorship programs? You find that maybe the scale of those programs are for the little connected, for the elite, but who's reaching out to the women out there in the communities? You talked about the women in the communities. So when I emphasize my point of emphasis is an all-inclusive approach. For the women that are in the villages, what deliberate efforts are we putting in place to reach out to them? The girls in the rural areas, those that do not have access to social media, those that cannot see this live conversation. What are we doing? Those in churches, if we can be intentional about it and deliberately put the women there. I'm saying so because motivating someone is not about taking me into a class. Sometimes it's just about me seeing Mizingamelu there and saying, okay, she's doing it. She's about to post. So I can also do it.
Yeah.
So that we can direct the young girls into the spaces of what a good mentorship or motivation should look like. It saddens me. On what trends in Zambia. When you go on social media, the most person that undressed the most.
Yes.
Will get the trends and everyone else will be following. No, my mentor, you inspire me and whatnot. I was like, so inspiring for young girls these days is just about, okay, how well can I undress or how well can I insult? But if we can have a lot more of women using that space and directing the girls in the right direction and say, look, you can also make it with this angle. And this is even more respectable. This is a way you can get there. You can get to the likes of all these vice presidents, the female vice president that we have, the speaker of the nation, the speaker of the National Assembly. So really the core here is inspiring inclusion. So whichever way we can try and inspire so that a lot more women, a lot more girls can be included, even better. But obviously emphasizing the point that in all this, we can't leave out the boys, we can't leave out the men. I agree with both of you when you said that we are making progress. Lately, if you've checked, was it last year and the other year where girls pass rate for grade 9 and 12, the girls were higher than the boys. And I was like, wow, we are making it. Go to most universities. Who do you find the majority participants in there? You find the women. So women really are really taking up these spaces. But at no point should we now should we leave out the boys or the men? Because these days men are left in spaces where it has led to quite a lot of mental issues. Today, there's a joke around Marios and whatnot. Because there's a neglect at some points that is almost happening to the other gender, the males. So we shouldn't forget about them. That's also a reminder to say, well, as we are promoting this, let us also try not to leave out the other gender, because there's no one sex, one gender that is going to run it. We have to work the gender parity. I think it was Chileshe who talked about the gender parity. We have to get there with all this equal participation of the both genders. In summary, I think the whole sentence of there is about inspiring inclusion. What do we do? Let's look at who can act, and whoever is in a position to influence. That message of inspiring inclusion should not be left out, be it in the markets, be it in the nightclubs, be it wherever. If we can just try to inspire the women to take up the opportunities, trust you me, I think we'll get there. So really, for me, how we do it, the question was more not how, is appealing to everyone who's in a position to ask a question, to influence the change, to change the narrative, to change things around, to play their role. And we shouldn't stop at no point should we relent and say, okay, now a lot is being done, or there are so many actors, let us also focus on all this. It has to be an everyday conversation. It has to leave no one behind. Yeah, I think in summary, that's what I can comment at this point. We'll come back later. Thank you.
You two have spoken about mentorship. I think this is really, really important. Because Mindball, like you just from saying, look at what trends on these socials. It's, I call it, sometimes it's stupidity, it goes viral Okay, people call people who are not their mentors to say, "Oh, I'm inspired by this person. I'm inspired by this person." So these people are the people that we have around. These are our young sisters. These are our cousins. These are our, whatever, our neighbors, whatever. So us that are close to them. Okay, before we get there to the nation, at the national level. Actually, this is worldwide, but I think in Zambia it's extreme. Okay, you find young people who are supposed to be getting inspiration from other people, cheering on something that is not going to benefit them in any way. So I'm not going to blame them because of lack of mentorship. Okay. So because of mentorship and just where to draw their inspiration from. So as young ladies, as we are raising these children, like as women or men, because I'm not going to talk about women alone, because in the house there's the mother and there's the father. So how are we? I'm not going to blame it on parenthood to say, okay, your parenting style is bad, but I'm going to say, how far are we going in instilling good morals, instilling skills or whatever we see in our children to prepare or whatever, because from their home this girl goes to society. Okay, so what they are able to draw inspiration from should be our worry as their guardians. So it's really, really important that we are all working together as men and women. We're not just going to say, okay, women. We are not going to attain it with the support of the men, just like you guys are saying. So if let's say this is the woman led household. Okay, so this woman is the mother, this woman is the father, but you see that there are people surrounding that family. Okay, they have uncles, they have cousins, they have whatever. So how far are we going in making sure that these young girls, okay, these young girls that are growing up and getting inspiration from others? Because if we have a lot like this generation that is coming, let's say after us or us, if we don't do it right, okay, we cannot attain whatever agenda we're fighting for. Okay, so mentorship is really, really important. I don't know how. Okay, how, like Chile has said, there are a lot of programs, but how available are these programs to the people out there? Do they only have to access the programs if through a certain thing, or it's something that we're advocating for? Is it something that they know about, or it's something that is only talked about? Mimbo said we should not just talk. Like, we'll be talking this year. We'll come and talk another year with another theme. But where are we at? Okay, where are we at as women, as as society at large? So, Sharon, how what can you say about this? Sharon, you able to hear me?
Right. Um, yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay,
I
okay.
think the mentorship that all of you have spoken about, for me, I think it needs also to start from home. A
Mm-hmm,
home also has an important role to play.
mm-hmm,
And then, like Maimbo said, there should be segregated mentorship that should be given to different people in society so that they can feel part and parcel of what's happening. And
mm-hmm,
also, I feel women should also be celebrated, even the
mm-hmm,
little achievements that they make. Let
mm-hmm. Very
it
important.
be
Yeah.
showcased to other women so that they can also relate and be inspired. And
Mm-hmm,
it makes me sad to say that as women also we are not supporting one another. The pull her
mm-hmm,
down
mm-hmm.
syndrome is always happening. I think we see it. When we see one
Yeah.
woman progressing,
Mm-hmm,
we would always try by all means to just put them down.
mm-hmm,
I think we need to reach a level where, as a woman, let's if my fellow woman is falling down there, let me stretch my hand and then pull them up so that we can move along together. How are we going to progress as women? The mentorship also, like I think I also talk about it. Can the government also help? Can other civil society also help? Even the church can also come in, because some people feel comfortable to go and speak to someone in the church, especially for women. They would feel comfortable to talk to a member of the church because maybe that's the person they feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But again, some of the people that you've talked about, like on social media, we're getting the wrong messages out there to the girls and to the women. But if we had to include them in these programs, can we have that mindset? First, we need to work on the mindset of the girl child. Of course, also the boy child should not also be left behind, because we are considered to be partners in development. So as much as we would try, like Mindball, like Chile has said, can we include everyone as a whole so that we can see progress? The poor had Down syndrome that we have seen, I think it's the one that is deterring the growth of women. The progress is not going forward, we're also going down. So let us help each other as women so that we can also progress.
Yeah.
I think
Very
that's what I need to
important. Very important.
Chileche, just to come in on that, I think earlier on you talked about what can we do even in homes. And for me, in my previous job, there's one training that I undertook on like training religious leaders and traditional leaders in being I think they were identified as key gatekeepers in the communities, but focusing on adolescent sexual reproductive health. So there's some material that we used. I'll pull it off if I can find it. I can share it with you. So this book was talking about how when a child, anyway, it all centers around charity begins at home.
Yes.
So the one of the readings I can remember in that book was talking about, it's like an empty bottle. A child is born an empty bottle.
Yeah.
So if the child is going to school and they have a bottle with its content full, when they go out there, whenever somebody wants to share something with this child to put it in their bottle, if the bottle is full, nobody can put anything there. But if the child went to school with an empty bottle, with a view that, oh, your friends are going to, you learn from the friends, or just go to school, it's okay on an empty stomach. You know what you're going to do to this child?
Yeah.
Child A is going to, they'll put a bit of Fanta in here. The other person will put Chiwantu or Monkoyo. The other person will put water. So what kind of a juice are you expecting to have in this child's bottle? So that is where charity begins at home. So if I feel the backbone of everything, it's also very important that we get back to families, because that is where the dysfunction of society is coming from, stems from.
Yep.
So if we can prepare our children. Remember, a child before age 10, a child believes, even above 10 anyway, a child believes what the teacher tells them. Whoever their teacher is what they believe. You will agree with me. When your child goes to school and they come back, you can try to tell them, don't do that. They'll tell you, no, teacher said. Why do they believe a teacher? It's because this is a person that puts something in them. So you cannot detach yourself as not being a teacher in your child's family, in your child's life, because a child will go and believe anybody who teaches them anything. It doesn't matter whether wrong or right. They'll believe that person.
That's
so
right.
if we really want to pass on this, I remain as one of the parents in this modern world. These days, you say, no, the children of these days. But the question I always ask myself, who are the parents of these days? And we are the parents of these days. Our parents raised us in the values and the norms that raised us to be who we are. I don't know at what point we missed it, and we want to raise another generation and to keep saying children of nowadays. I know, yes, there are so many external factors associated, but it's also a call to every parent, every home, that they can play a role, that do your best. Because if this child leaves home with a full knowledge, even if they are taught out there, they will say, okay, my mother taught me that. So they will be
Uh,
able to compare. But if they go blank, like it's a blank slate, I mean, it's a blank check, anybody can write any amount there and it goes. So here
mhm,
is where become an inspiration to your child. Try and instill some morals and values in your child. Pass them. I don't
mhm,
know how I can trust another person to be the one to transmit their values. I know
mhm,
my values. I know what I want. Why should I leave it to another person to go and teach my child?
mhm,
And as a result, my conduct, what I do in the face of my child, is very important. And that's one of the calls that we can speak to the parents of these days to speak to be appealing, so that it's more appealing to the girls, because this year's theme talks about women and girls. I
mhm,
remember one time I think I appeared on news, and my daughter was like, "Mommy, you're on TV. So how did you get in the TV?" She was a bit young then, but how did
mhm,
you get in the TV? So I explained. So one
mhm,
time somebody asked her, "When you grow up, what do you want to become?" She says, "I want to become a chef, but before I become a chef, I want to go and work at Diaconia." So then
mhm,
I was like, "At Diaconia, what is a Diaconia that you want to go and do? Like just because man works there?" Then this
mhm,
person asked them, "But why?" Then she said, "I like that my mother sometimes gets to appear on news, like I've seen her on TV several times and whatnot." So you
mhm,
see, it's the smaller things that we do as parents that can inspire the child. And
mhm,
that, my contribution here is just to emphasize the point that you brought out, Chideshe, and you, Sharon, that at every point, I think the buck stops at also the family, the buck stops at home, because this is where the child comes from. What are we
mhm,
doing? What are we exposing them to? And what efforts have we put in place so that they're also inspired? If a
mhm,
girl child comes from a home that every time a girl in their family reaches age 15, they are married off, that's an inspiration, that's a motivation you've set for that child. And you can't
mhm,
expect this child who's coming from this guy if they do not have, I think it was Chideshe earlier who talked about how well are they, how much do they realize their own potential. So if it's
mhm,
not intrinsically motivated,
mhm,
then the external inspiration is almost missing. And even if you put all this mentorship, even if the government puts in all these policies and whoever can come and do their bit, if the environment, the home where they're coming from is a dysfunctional one, there's very
mhm.
little we can do. They can only go up to a certain point. So
Yeah,
homes is another place that I
the
feel is
basic.
a
Yeah.
critical element that we
Mhm,
have to invest in, and we shouldn't overlook. The families is one critical element that I think we should be investing our times in, and trying to say we can't lose our morals and values on which we were raised on and try to raise these children in another version. No. If
So
people are going to
let me
blame the
before you miss that point, I need to ask because you spoke about us being raised with these morals, yeah? We're raised in a certain way, okay? Let me go back a little bit and just talk about the situations surrounding that time and now, okay? So we do have working mothers, we do have working fathers, okay? So before, our parents, let's say our mothers used to be with us, okay? Most of the times your mother would see what you are doing. They want to know whom you are playing with. Or they want to say, wirangala no yalikwata mano abi yakakusambilisha. Okay? So something like that. That's what used to happen then. Okay. The mother was present at home. Okay. So in this world of today, in this world where parents are leaving it up to social media, a child has a phone, okay? A child has a phone, mostly they can write what they want, they can search for whatever they want, and they can get it. So how then are we gonna do how are we going to make our parenting effective? I didn't want you to lose that point. So I wanted you to talk about it and connect with it. So in this era, it's a digital era. Women are going to work, fathers are going to work. We have little to no time with the children. Okay. I said little to no time because sometimes parents go, the father has gone. Okay. The mother has gone. So maybe the mother is coming back home tired. They won't even check where
Okay,
they
before I
yeah.
go,
Yeah.
I have about 60 seconds before my phone switches off because I don't have power and it's just warning that my
Oh,
battery is low. I'll be logging
okay.
out. So quickly,
Yeah.
Um, quickly, we just have to make the time. So
Yeah.
your children, they go to school because you are working parents. You can afford, because you are working parents. You're able to afford daycare. You're able to
Mm-hmm.
to afford a school where the children can stay the whole day. And by the time they are back, you're also home because the children are going to be home alone. What
Mm-hmm.
happens when we come back? We get to be on social media. What
Mm-hmm.
I find, um,
I think her battery is dying. Sharon, I think you can pick it up. I think her battery is dying. Maybe she's logged out already. Yeah. Sharon or Chile, you can pick it up.
Yeah,
Yes. So, mm-hmm.
yes, like Mindball was saying, I think parents, we need to find the time. We
Mm-hmm.
need to also um, control social media. As much as you have given the children these gadgets, can we also
Mm-hmm.
set aside time for you and
Mm-hmm.
the kids to also talk about what how school was, how their day was? Because they're not just going to be working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like we
Mm-hmm.
are saying, social media has got so much influence. So, as a
Mm-hmm.
parent, we need to
Mm-hmm.
find that time to talk to our kids, see what, because they are going through a lot while at school.
Mm-hmm.
Some children are bullied, and if you
Yeah.
as a parent can't find time to talk to your kids, you're going to lose them. Or they'll
Mm-hmm.
get information, or they'll talk to someone who's going to give them wrong information. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what Mine was trying to say was we need to find the time. As much as we
Mm-hmm.
are 24/7 working mothers, you talked
Mm-hmm.
earlier on, like the way we grew up, everyone was,
Mm-hmm.
me, I was everyone's child. They had the right to
Mm-hmm.
beat me up if I do something wrong. But nowadays, God,
Mm-hmm.
don't call them mwana wa bene. You will call and
Mm-hmm.
say, why are you beating up my child?
Wakaleta. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why little? So we
Mm-hmm.
as parents need to find the time. No matter how busy we are in our busy schedule, let's factor
Mm-hmm.
in that time. I like where
Mm-hmm.
you are right now. I
Mm-hmm.
have seen parents supporting their kids, even when playing
Mm-hmm.
basketball. Is it a football
Mm-hmm.
match? They'll take time
Mm-hmm.
off, even 30 minutes, just to go and watch their
Mm-hmm.
kids play.
Perfect.
Just
Yeah.
seeing your mother or your father or your aunt sitting in
Mm-hmm.
there watching you play, it
There's
boosts
a lot of
their morale.
motivation.
But here,
Mm-hmm.
back here home, they'll say, "Tapenda kufika kutwala if you're just going to
Mm-hmm.
be a nobody
Uh-huh.
if you continue playing soccer." So you're lowering
Yes.
their self-esteem. So can we
Mm-hmm.
support these little progress? If they are good at
Mm-hmm.
singing, if they are good at playing soccer, basketball, and whatever sport, if we
Mm-hmm.
support the children, I think we include them in everything that's happening, we see little progress. And
Mm-hmm.
also, for me, I cannot leave home without making my bed. I can't move out
Mm-hmm.
from my bedroom before I can make sure that everything is tied. I think you can agree with me. It
Yes, I
started
know
from
that.
home.
Mhm. Yes.
So wherever I go, I think I tend to feel like if I don't do that, my mom will always be watching or something. So if we train our children from home, I think
Mm-hmm.
they'll be feeling safe, and they'll be free to tell us whatever problems that they may face when they go to school or when they are playing with their friends. So let's parents find time to talk to their kids, even if they are so busy out there, so that at least we
Mm-hmm.
can have or grow better children in future.
Yeah, thank you so much for the inputs. Yeah, you've talked about talents, which is very, very very important. Something that we haven't been doing back home. We have not emphasized on this enough. We haven't nurtured talent. Okay, it starts from within. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking including we talking this year's theme, okay, inclusion and investing in women and girls. So you hear us talking about a lot of girls because it starts, a woman is a girl and then grows into a woman. So and how are we including others, okay, in attaining a safe society, a healthy community? So Chile, what is your thoughts about this, like what these ladies have spoken about? They've raised very important points. They've spoken about celebrating women. I think it was you, Sharon, who spoke about celebrating women, the little, whatever they attain, you celebrate them. And then we've spoken about talent and being intentional. So, what is your own? Has to what do you have to add about this?
Whatever the girls have said is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but like I earlier alluded to, society will not invest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Society will not invest in your children
Mm-hmm.
unless you've invested enough in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot pour from an empty cup. So
No.
when we go back to the theme,
Mm-hmm.
which is invest in women, accelerate progress, I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned earlier on to say it has to start with us as women. For you
Yeah.
to be a family person, making sure your children, you know what your children are doing, what they are up to. Have you invested in yourself adequately
Mm-hmm.
enough?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we talk about your mental well-being,
Mm-hmm.
have you invested in your mental well-being? Have
Mm-hmm.
you invested in your health, just your general health? Have
Mm-hmm.
you invested in yourself education wise? Have you invested
Mm-hmm.
in yourself financially?
Mm-hmm.
So if all these things are met, even as you are, when it comes to taking care of your children, wanting to know what your children are up to, you
Mm-hmm.
it will freely flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there
I
won't
agree.
be any issues of no abana tabale umfwa tabale chitashan, because you started with yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
wrote down the values, your core values, your known of as a woman. You've
Mm-hmm.
invested in yourself personally before
Mm-hmm.
another person can invest in you, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, you
So
are right. You cannot give what you don't have. Yeah.
you can't pour
Mm-hmm.
from an empty cup.
No.
We'll talk about all these things. No, the government should come in. No, society should come in. The men should come in. But us
Mm-hmm.
as women, what are we doing? What am I doing? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes now to identifying talent, am i
Mm-hmm.
am i identifying talent from an objective point of view, or I'm like, ababeni abana kashi like 30, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
many times it's us as women who've been pulling ourselves down, like Sharon mentioned. But
Yes.
it's time to change this narrative, you
Yeah.
know. As even as we are talking, how many women have we invested in? Someone just walks up to you, tells you something, or you just walk up to them and just give them an encouraging word, like no strings attached whatsoever. You just find
Yeah.
yourself being drawn to this person, and you just give them an encouraging word, and off you go. It's only maybe after some years that this person will come to you and tell you to say, thank you, Chileshe, for holding my hand. Thank you, Sharon,
Mm-hmm.
for holding my hand. Then you look back to say, oh, okay, so that's what I like. You can't even remember that you did that thing,
Something. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But like Maimbo mentioned, now it's time to be intentional. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's
Yes.
it's not time to just talk and we leave it there, or that girl for our adi shupa. It's now
Mm-hmm.
time to walk up to a fellow woman. You see something that is going, like this person is not okay. Maybe you just walk up to them to say, how are you? How are things? You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a loving way. And there's also need to build trust. Before we
Mm-hmm.
can invest in these women, we need to build a certain level of trust, because it's too much of someone tells me something, I take it to another person to say, have you heard what so and so was saying? She told me this. Before you know it, that story goes back to her. You know, and again, that's what has been preventing a lot of women from going out and maybe seeking advice to another fellow woman because they are scared to say, should I share what I'm going through?
Yeah.
This I'll hear it, the whole neighborhood will know. But how about
Mm-hmm.
being our each other's keeper, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching a YouTube video Brené Brown did about, is it Braving the Odds? The
Mm-hmm.
V, I liked the V uh sorry, my nephew is here. She said the vote, V stands for, in the engraving, V stands for vote. Someone walks up to you and tells you something about somebody. How safe are you if that person is talking about somebody? So we
Mm-hmm.
need to be that secret vote, like that vote we use for keeping our wills, our dollars, and all. Can we be a
I was
safe
safe.
vote
Yeah.
for another person?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
for me, that's how I'm interpreting this whole theme. May we invest in women. Let them be our vote when they come to us. Let us be a safe place, a safe space for them, and also women to just invest in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
First taking it upon themselves before
Mm-hmm.
anybody else can invest in them, before anybody else can see potential in them. Only then will they run, their families will run well, their work will run, everything about them will
Mm-hmm.
be okay because they started with themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. I agree. Do you have anything to say, Sharon? I'll just quickly run through what you guys have said. We've been here for an hour. Do you do you believe that
Yeah, 1 hour is
it's
too
an hour
short.
already? I know.
Truly too, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
spoken a lot.
just before you conclude, mm,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, as a woman, we
Mm-hmm.
have the power to influence. Can we
Mm-hmm.
be or set a very good example and
Mm-hmm.
be the shining light? Because
Mm-hmm.
Chile has spoken to say if you don't invest in yourself as a woman, as a girl, nobody will do it for you.
Yes.
So if you invest in yourself, how are you going to
Mm-hmm.
inspire the next woman? I'll give you an
Mm-hmm.
example, a practical example. Like, I think that was 2, 3 months ago. I do some taxi business. I'm a taxi
Mm-hmm.
driver, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this lady that lost her husband. He was killed while working in the taxi business. So she didn't want to do, even her, she used to drive during the day. But
Mm-hmm.
after the murder, she didn't want to do anything. And then somebody posted an advert. There's
Mm-hmm.
one politician that I met said, no, I want a female driver. So she
Mm-hmm.
called me. She was like, no, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I told her to say, how ready are you emotionally,
Uh-huh.
physically? Because
Mm-hmm.
looking at what happened to you and you lost your husband
Your husband, yeah.
during this time, and what do you want to do? She just told me to say, I feel like now I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
because 3 of my church members gave me their cars to use, but I said no. I just don't know
Mm-hmm.
why this time around when I was given that advert, I had to call you.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, fine, I'll take you to the place. I drove my
Mm-hmm.
said, I've brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
Interviews, the rest is up to you. I even waited
Yes.
for her. We came back,
Mm-hmm.
she went her way. Then I think 2 days later, she called me to say I've been given the job and they gave me a
Oh
phone
wow.
to use and
Mm-hmm.
everything. I was happy for her. She was like, thank you, my sister. I was like, no,
To be a
I was just trying
sisters,
to
yeah.
help. Go and make yourself
Mm-hmm.
proud. So for me, I was like, I felt like I was the sister's keep. I was just
Mm-hmm.
doing it
Yes.
without even because she asked me, said, did they give you fuel money?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, 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 no. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
like that. I just wanted you to 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 go there and try. And it
Mm-hmm.
has worked all for you, and I'm happy. So in
Yes.
short, what we're trying to discuss here is that let's be each other's sister's keeper. Once we
Yeah.
establish that, I think we're going to progress in a positive direction.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, I'll connect that one, your last statement, with what we see. We see these things happening every day. When we see
Can
a
I just add
woman,
one more thing?
oh yes, please.
Yeah, which reminds me on mentorship.
Yeah.
I forgot to add this one because when Maimbo was here, she was trying. She mentioned something like who is investing in those people in rural areas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
us we are able to access the Facebook and all this technology, but who is investing in these guys in rural areas, maybe in boarding schools and all those things? I
Mm-hmm.
got reminded of the time when I was in high school. And
Mm-hmm.
by that time, I think President Mwanawasa was the one ruling, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
back
think so.
then, First Lady Maureen Mwanawasa would make trips to our school. This, up to now, that speech she gave about
Mm-hmm.
me dreaming as a girl, dreaming, knowing what I wanted, is still with me. I think maybe that was even the turning point. I don't know. But I wrote down those, whatever the D's she gave us. I think she gave us about 5 D's. I wrote
Mm-hmm.
them down and they stuck to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say is when it comes to mentorship, let's
Mm-hmm.
not just restrict it to technology and all those things. If
Yeah.
we have a chance, let's
Mm-hmm.
go out there. Even as
Mm-hmm.
like it's not about me having resources and or like financial resources and all those things, or maybe me being popular. That's the only way I can talk to the young ladies. I think we
Mm-hmm.
can still make a change just where we are,
Mm-hmm.
like right now. We can still
Mm-hmm.
make a change in that girl who's in a rural place, who does not have a chance to access technology, or maybe or watch YouTubes, or these other celebrities or other influencers. Let
Yeah.
us take it upon ourselves to be influencers and influence
Mm-hmm.
that one girl, because for me, the person who influenced me, like the whole first lady, I didn't even know her. That was the first time me meeting her.
Mm-hmm.
She That was like some, I don't know, is it 20 something years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like over
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
She talked to me and it still stuck with me. So
Mm-hmm.
just it just shows us the power of the word, the power of just going to
Yes.
one person and talking to them and telling them to say, okay, do this, you know, because there are those
Mm-hmm.
people who are coming from broken homes, who
That's true.
their mothers are ever out, their parents
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
this person just comes in their lives and just talks, says a word, and they run with
Mm-hmm.
this word, and
Mm-hmm.
here we are,
Yeah.
you know. So that
Yeah.
one bit I forgot to add. Yeah.
Words are powerful. Yeah. Words
Mm.
are powerful. Like that's why we should be very, very careful of what we say. Like Sharon said about talent, how are we taking it? How are we nurturing it in our children, in our, the young ones, the words we speak? She said something like you not encouraging, yeah, like you don't care. Okay. So say words of encouragement to these people. Like you're gonna make it, you're going to be a success. You're gonna be, you just tell them nice words because they'll germinate and then they'll bring out the person that you want to see in the future. So, ladies, we've spoken a lot. I didn't know we'll speak like this, like for this long. It feels like we've been here for 10 minutes. It feels like we've been here for 10 minutes. Women, let me
Very
talk about
true.
this before I close. I want to talk about something, a point that Sharon raised. She said pulling each other down. This is what has been happening every day. You see people
Mm.
exchanging words on social media. Like you see people, everybody, someone who's doing good, someone says something about this person. Someone who's doing better, someone goes behind and say, oh, okay, this person is like this. You want to pull them down. Like this is not really going to help us. If Sharon is winning, I'm winning. Okay. Just like the gestures that you did, Sharon. Like you take someone to the, to say, go to this place. Look, that person is going to work for this maybe famous, politician. You don't know how much they are going to pay them. A thought that will come out to be like, then she makes more money than me. Do you get it? But if you are a sister's keeper, you're a sister's keeper, you don't look about those external things. You only look at me helping someone, me extending a hand. Okay. And that's what we should all look at. Your path is different from mine, and it's different from hers. So let's cheer ourselves all the way to the top. If Chile is winning in accounting, oh, she's an accountant. Oh, okay. What is she doing? Oh, she also does business. Oh, okay. You're not going to see Chile baking cakes and then you're going to get a cake from somewhere else when you know, oh, my sister lives here. You get it. Just because you don't want her to get that money, because you think that, oh, she will have so much money and me, you'd rather give it to somebody else. That is what is killing us. That is what is really, really killing us. Like, oh, this person has this. Oh, just because this person has this, show them the way. They may not do it your way, okay? They'll do it their way, and that's how God created them. We all have something. Or we can be doing something similar, but we'll execute it differently because I'm not you, you are not me. We don't have the same brain, okay? We function, our brains functions differently. So, guys, ladies, for us this year in December to say we attain this thing, let's remove this pulling someone down. We call it pull him down syndrome, PhD. Let's remove that aspect. Let's just love one another and be a light. Sharon and Itios talked about being a light for others. Okay? Be a light. Show them the way and then let them take it up. Okay? Being a safe place, okay? Be a safe place. Was it you, Chile, who said when someone comes to confide in you, are they going to be, are their problems, projects going to be projected to the whole world to see, oh, you're going to keep it safe, to say, oh, this is my sister who ran to me for this in confidence. They might going to keep it that way. Okay, that way we are slowly attaining the agenda. Mental health, we spoke about mental health. It's really, really important that our mental health is in good shape. There's no way we're gonna attain all this if there are so many things that confuses our mental health. It could be what you're going through at the moment. It could be with family. It could be that you've been trying to do something and you've been failing. That has been affecting you in a way. So it affects you can't function properly. So we have to make sure that everything is in place. Check your sister. Oh, this person, is she okay? Oh, this one has been my friend. This is not how she behaves or she reacts. What is really causing her to come out this way or to respond this way? That's not her. Okay, take up time. Go take yourself there. Take yourself there. Go and talk to them in private. Talk to them. Be their safe place. And maybe that's where we're gonna attain this. Okay. Talk about talent. Let's look at our children, our cousins, our nieces, our nephews. What are we seeing? Like Sharon said, here where we live, there's that environment. Okay, there's that just conducive environment where talent is appreciated. And I like it even in Zambia. Like right now, talent is being appreciated. We see how everybody's wanting to be, oh, I want to be the Barbara Banda. Children are aspiring, oh, this is Barbara Banda, this is this person. So before they used to say, okay, we didn't want to nurture those talents in our children. But look, right now, education is really, really important. But I always believe in what God puts in you, okay, to be something that can sustain you in the long run. Education can, can give you insight. You are able to discern, you're able to make right decisions. Okay. But if you realize your potential, what really God puts inside of you, then I think that sustains you to the end. Because if we rely, oh, want a job, I want a job. If a job ends today, what else? If you can't find another, or if you never have time to find another, or you don't have the ability to find a job, what are you going to do? So it's really, really important that we go inside us, think about that which God put in us to use to sustain us. Yeah. You guys spoke about all that. Okay. I'm just going through, and if you are here, you've just come, we are celebrating International Women's Month. I've had these beautiful ladies with me, and we've been discussing all these things I'm talking about. Yeah, so we have to be intentional in our doings. Whatever we are doing, let's be intentional. Put all of ourselves in something to say, this is really what I want to do this year, and let me achieve this. What do I need for me to achieve this? Okay, it's this, that. Investing in ourselves as women, really, really important. We have to invest in ourselves so that we are empowered in any way possible. That way, nothing, the winds cannot shake us, even if we had any problem. And if anything, you're able to pull someone who needs maybe help in a certain way. Okay, you invest in yourself, in skills. Okay, in so many things. Do things that do something new every day. A skill can be acquired. It's not that, oh, I want to you can acquire skills. Do something, learn how to bake, learn how to learn how to do a lot of other things. You can learn all this. And we've talked about mentorship, which is really, really important. Let's pick up someone we can mentor to say, okay, I want to see this person grow. Okay, we can start it from that level, and then we grow. We take it like society level. It can get there to there, but it starts from where we are. We talked about parenting because this year's theme is talking about the girls and the women. Okay, so who are the girls? Where are we finding the girls? Are we finding them on the internet? Of course we are, but they are coming from different homes. So we're starting from homes as the basic foundation for these girls to like. We want to see a projection of what we are instilling in them, just like Maimbo said, to say, give an example of an empty bottle. If you're sending your child out there with an empty bottle, everybody will pour in what they think is right and they'll grab it. Okay, so when we send our children out with a full bottle, there will be no space for anyone to put in anything that they feel they can do put in. Okay, so let's learn. No matter how much we are, how much busy we are, let's create time for these our kids. Let's create time, because it's only in a home that they can get the morals that we want to see, and it's only in the home that they can learn that which we want them to learn, because no one wants to see a child who's a weird child, a child who has no manners. You start from home. Charity begins at home. So guys, we spoke about all that. And then we talked about this important thing of inclusion, which is really, really important for us to attain all these things that we've spoken about. And the goal for this year as women is not to remove the men, because we say, oh, the men, you have all been in the game for too long, we want to do this on our own. No, we cannot do that. We include them because they are part of the homes, they are part of society, they are part of our day-to-day lives. And the men, let me say this to end with this, the men are also the people that are supposed to be offering support to these people here. Offer support to your children, offer support to your wives, offer support to whatever society you're in, your cousins, okay, your sisters, okay. Just cheering them on will go a long, long way. Okay, so Chile, I believe you're still here, and thank you guys for coming. Thank you for being part of this discussion, and you, the viewers, would like to thank you so much for coming and for joining us. If you have any contributions, you can leave them in the comment section so that everybody who comes can benefit from your input. Ladies, what are your last words?
Okay, for me, my last words would be let's continue pushing, let's
Mhm.
continue helping each other, let's hold each other's hand as ladies, let's be good influencers and not negative influencers. At the end of the day, we are going to attain the inclusion that we are talking about if and only if we support one another. As they say, charity begins
Yes.
at home. We've talked about mentorship, we've talked about a lot of things, education and giving opportunities, investing in yourself first before you can invest in others. Let's keep
Mm-hmm.
pushing as ladies. The platform is there for us. So let's go, girls. Thank you. And
Yeah,
thank you for
let's
having
get
me.
it. Thank you so much for coming. I guys, these are all my friends, and you see how I am because I have friends that are full of wisdom. Yeah, thank you so much, Sharon, for coming, and others that could not make it. I'm sure they'll make it some other time. Chile, you have something to say?
Yes, my last thoughts. Are you able to get me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
My just my last thoughts is it's as women, it's time to stop pitying ourselves. That time
Mm-hmm.
is past. Like that. No, if it's time
Mm-hmm.
to arise to the occasion, celebrate
Mm-hmm.
yourself before others can celebrate you.
Mm-hmm.
That those are my last thoughts. Just
Oh
celebrate
wow, that's
yourself, celebrate
mm-hmm.
your achievements, and
Mm-hmm.
go out there. It's not about proving that you can do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
because that thing is already in you. It's because
Mm-hmm.
you can do it. You're not proving anything, but you're
Mm-hmm.
just fulfilling your God-given purpose. So it's time to
Mm-hmm.
arise and it's time to celebrate yourself.
Yeah, that's very, very true. If you wait for people to celebrate you, my boy, she got cut prematurely because power she lost power or something like that.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to see if she can say something in summary. Yeah. So Chile, yeah, that's true. That's very true. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you for your inputs. That's true. We have to stop pitying. Mhm. We cannot continue to say sorry for your to feel sorry for yourself. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to see if yeah. You will not summary. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So you're not going to be pitying yourself now. Ikaramuka kona tifweni fifine, whatever. You have to rise to the occasion and be the woman you are supposed to be. Be the person. Utilize, go forth into you and bring out the whole potential. Okay. If nobody is
Bring
giving you the support, pick yourself up and just um be the person that you need to be. So we today Chile Maimbo I think wants to come and say her last words too, so you can stick around a little bit for a minute or two. I'll be ending the live very soon. So guys, for those of you that have just joined, we've been discussing this year's theme for the women. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and this is International Women's Month. This is the whole month for women. So we're just trying, it's not about a day, it's about how you interpret. Yesterday, people were matching, I guess. They were going around, celebrating, oh, Happy Women's Day. Everybody that put up Happy Women's Day on their post yesterday must rise to the occasion and support every woman every girl so that we can get when like come next year March, when we are doing another theme, we would say, okay, this is what we were able to do last year and this is how far we have gone. Okay, so support everybody. It's not just about you putting up a post, oh, happy Women's Day to this person. So we have a theme, and that theme is what we are running with. Support every girl, invest in every girl, invest in every woman. So if you have all these people, this is what we have been talking about. I think she's having still difficulties. So guys, I'll end here. Chile, thank you so much for coming. I had a very interesting panel. Thank you so much for all the points that you brought up. I'm so grateful. This has been insightful. I'll have to watch this again. I have to sit down and watch it and just, and just learn from the wisdom that has been brought forth this evening. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Chile, I'll let you go for now. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, late.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for being here. And if you are late, you can actually go back. This is not a very long live, it's very short, but it's just about an hour, so it's very important that you listen to this live. I had very wise ladies on the panel today. They spoke about so much. We did not leave anything or any stone unturned. So guys, thank you so much for being here, and share to everybody that you know that will benefit from this. Happy Women's Month to all of you ladies, and please remember, you are enough. No one should tell you otherwise. Okay, bye for now and have a good night. And wherever you're watching me from, thank you. Put your comments down below and let's see your contribution, if you have any contribution or if you have any questions. It's been me, Chile, and thank you so much for being here, and have a lovely night.